All right, welcome everybody. So in this live stream right here, I do want to follow up to a short video that I had out just the other day in regards to this $1,400 makeup or catch-up payment for virtually everybody on Social Security. Where is this coming from? When would this be paid? What is the idea behind this? And answering those questions that I've been seeing down below in the comment section over the last few days here from some of you reaching out, asking and wondering more details on this. I just want to spend a few minutes here in this live stream and explain the details on this. Okay, now first off, I want to say this really fast here. Again, as I said just a second ago, I said a short video the other day. What do I mean by that? And again, I know that most of you probably know this, but let me just send it like 5 seconds on this. Okay, so some of the videos, it's very, not very common, but every so often I put up a short, and it's literally like a 1 to 3 minute video, basically. And it's basically just a clip that I've pulled out of one of the longer form videos, and then obviously it links back to the longer form video as well. So anyway, I've seen some comments that come on and say, why do you keep repeating yourself? Shorts, what they do is they keep repeating. They're on loop, so they just keep going around and around. They keep playing. So anyway, that's what that's all about. I don't put those up very often. Usually in the evening I do, if I do them at all. But anyway, that's what that is. So anyway, a couple days ago, I posted a short, and it was talking about this $1,400 lump sum payment to all Social Security beneficiaries. What is this whole thing about? Now, if you did not follow, or if you did not go back and watch the long form video that was linked to that short right there, let me explain the details on this, because again, bunch of people wondering the details on this. Now, this is actually super interesting. I love this idea. I think it's a great idea. I do think it could be changed a little bit. I do think that they could mix this up a little bit and change some of the parameters around it. But overall, I think it's a pretty awesome idea. So let me explain the details on this. Now, this was actually originally introduced, I don't know, maybe I'm just going to say like 3-ish months ago or so, give or take a little bit. Again, it could have been 2, it could have been 4, I don't know. It was about 3 or so months ago. It was actually introduced by the Senior Citizens League, which you've probably heard me talk about them before. I've talked about them, referred to them many, many times before in other videos. I think they have a lot of, good content. They talk about a lot of really good things. Obviously, they advocate for Social Security beneficiaries just like we do right here on this channel, but really good stuff. Anyway, the Senior Citizens League came out, I don't know, again, a few months ago. It introduced this and said basically that because of the lackluster COLAs that we've been receiving year after year after year over the last several years, even though the COLAs realistically have been kind of generous. Oh, okay, that's too much of a compliment right there, right? But anyway, a few years ago, we did actually receive a couple of really nice COLAs. The 8.7% a few years ago, the 5.9%, those were actually really, really nice. However, that was also during a time when we saw inflation and price increases significantly higher than that. So obviously, we knew even with the 8.7 and the 5.9%, that even those COLAs that we were getting at that time were probably way below how much prices were actually increasing at that time. So yeah, we still were falling behind. We got the short end of the stick, like always, right? But anyway, so the Senior Citizens League basically has acknowledged, just like all of us have acknowledged over the last several years, the last 5-6 years or so, with all of this very high inflation, rapidly rising prices, that benefit checks continue to fall behind month after month, year after year. And this is what continues to happen. We know how this whole thing goes, right? It's because of the lackluster COLAs, unfortunately, not keeping up with real price increases. Therefore, benefit checks keep falling behind. You've heard me say this like 1,000 times over the last few years. It's a major headline. I see it all the time, all kinds of articles. It's not that surprising. We all know the details behind this. But anyway, basically what they proposed is that suggesting that Social Security beneficiaries are due a $1,400 makeup or catch-up payment to be paid in conjunction with the 2026 COLA alongside your monthly benefits in 2026, just as a one-time makeup payment in the amount of $1,400, again, basically to catch beneficiaries up for the major cost of living that we've seen over the last several years that we have not been compensated for properly because of the lackluster and honestly the pathetically low COLAs that we've received over the last several years. I mean, here's the deal. We're getting 2.8% next year. I think we can all probably argue that real inflation is probably more around like 5 to 6%. We're probably getting about 50% in a raise, the COLA, of what is actually being produced as far as inflation. Not only that, They're giving the 2.8% COLA, but you all recognize this. The Medicare Part B premium is going to take the vast majority of that, right? Because it's increasing by 9.6% or $17.90 up to $202.90. Yeah, is that what it is? Yeah, $202.90 is how much it's going to be in 2026. That's nuts, right? But anyway, that's what this is all about, okay? So that's what they proposed. And obviously, it could happen. As of right now, they haven't come together with an official proposal. What's interesting about this is that even though the Senior Citizens League has introduced this, love the idea, really good idea, great proposal here. But what would need to happen is that lawmakers would most likely need to approve this. Social Security can't just independently come out and be like, yeah, we agree, we love this idea. We're just going to automatically pay this extra $1,400 out to beneficiaries in conjunction with the 2.8% COLA. They just can't really do that, right? It would have to be approved by lawmakers. So, we all know how lawmakers work, incredibly slow, and then they have to, disagree on everything. So anyway, that's what that would all be about. Okay, so you could call it whatever you want. Senior Citizens League is basically calling it a makeup or catch-up payment. And again, give it whatever name you want. But it's almost like a retroactive pay, just a one-time catch-up to basically be like, here, sorry, we basically stiffed you on all the COLAs over the last several years, and we'll just catch you up with this $1,400, okay? That's basically what that's all about. Now, not only do I love this, but I do think it could be restructured a little bit. Let me run through some of the ideas just super fast here as far as how I think that this could be restructured a little bit better, just because, as we all recognize, well, the finances of Social Security are honestly pretty tight. Based on the Social Security Board of Trustees annual report that we got back in June, they still have about $2.7 trillion in the trust fund, which is honestly pretty nice. That's a lot of money. But the problem being is that money's going to be gone in about 6.5 years, give or take a little bit. That money's going to be totally gone because it's going to be paid out to beneficiaries. So that's kind of the problem. So if they paid out an extra $1,400 to say 75 million beneficiaries, well, I didn't run the math before I started this. I should have. That would cost about 728, I'm trying to roughly add it up really fast here. About, what is that, $100 billion? I think it's $100 billion, roughly. Give or take a little bit. My math is not perfect right now. I'm just kind of roughly trying to add it up. About $100 billion is how much that would cost. So, that's a lot of money, right? To Social Security, they have 2.7 trillion. So realistically, it's like a small percentage of the total money that they have, but it'd be an extra $100 billion that they would pay out that they weren't expecting, which, by the way, they currently pay out about $120 billion a month right now to beneficiaries just in monthly benefits. Can you imagine that? $120 billion going out every single month to people on Social Security. It's a lot of money going out. So anyway, it would add about an extra $100 billion that they would have to send out in this payment if they were to do it, okay? But here's what I would suggest. Couple things. Number one is I would say rather than paying it out of Social Security, why don't they just take it out of general federal funds to basically distribute this? That's basically what happened here is, right? Prices rose because of them printing too much money chasing too few goods and services and just jacking up prices, right? More demand in the system, bidding up prices on everything out in the real economy. And that's what's coming in and what we're really paying for right here, right now, right? So anyway, that's that. So I would say rather than having Social Security pay out that $100 billion, maybe just general federal funds could pay that out. And that is who could actually pay that rather than drawing the money out of the trust fund. Okay, that's number one. Next, I would suggest maybe if they were to do this, do the highest income beneficiaries, and again, I'm not sure what that cutoff would be, but maybe it's like 4,000, 4,500. I'm not really sure where the cutoff would be. But maybe the highest income beneficiaries, maybe there's a phase out on this thing. And again, that's generally what they do for all these other types of payments that go out is they generally have this type of phase out. If your income or benefit amount is above a certain amount, then they have this phase out. But again, it would maybe save a little bit of money, or maybe they could take the savings. Let's just say that they allocate $100 billion to this project. Maybe they could take the savings and say, hey, we're actually going to send it out to just those people that have a benefit under, say, $4,000 a month, or again, whatever they decide. I don't know. But maybe they take that money and say, oh, this frees up, $20 billion. Maybe they could take that and spread it out across all the other beneficiaries that would get it and basically say, oh, here, now you're going to get, $1,500 rather than 14 or whatever the math would come out to be, right? Same thing that I've been talking about with this $2,000 stimulus check that the president has introduced. Same thing I've been talking about with this $200 per month raise introduced by the Emergency Social Security Inflation Relief Act. Same situation that I keep talking about with all of these proposals. Great proposals, but should they really be going out to all beneficiaries? I don't really know about that, right? I guess in my opinion, I feel like awesome, it'd be really, really good, but do the highest income beneficiaries really need that full payment at the end of the day? Don't get me wrong, I'm sure some really do, but do they all is the real big question there, right? And again, any money that could be saved in any little area could possibly be redistributed to the lower income beneficiaries. And again, you've heard me say this so many times over the years. I've been a huge, huge, huge proponent of this. In the event of more stimulus checks going out, I've said this very loud and clear. I've been very, very clear about this in the videos over the last several years, which is in the event of another stimulus check to go out, and again, any type, fill in the blank with any type of payment, it could be this $1,400 makeup payment, the $200 raise to benefits, a one-off stimulus check, monthly payments, whatever you want to call it, it literally doesn't matter. But basically what I've said is that maybe we should really focus these payments on the lowest income people out there. And again, income is income. It does not matter whether your income is from Social Security, whether it's from earned income. It doesn't matter. Money coming to you is income. Doesn't matter where it comes from. Income is income, right? But I've been a huge proponent saying maybe this money should only go out to those people that really, 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 truly need it. And again, the lowest income people, whatever that happens to be, I don't know. Is it 50 grand a year for an individual? 40 grand for an individual? 60 grand for an individual? I'm not really sure what that cutoff would be. I mean, years ago, honestly, we put the number at like $40,000, but things have also changed. Maybe we put it at, say, 50 grand for an individual and maybe like 80, 85, maybe 90,000 for a married couple. Maybe it's 100,000. I'm not sure. But again, what that would really do is it would eliminate a ton of people from being eligible for it that have higher incomes. And then guess what they could do? Let's just say that they allocate, I don't know, $200 billion for a project to send it out in the form of raises to benefits, one-off stimulus checks, monthly payments, whatever it happens to be. But if they lowered the income threshold, significantly, what that would really do is it would, still have the $200 billion price tag on it, but what they could really do at that point is that maybe with the higher income threshold as far as eligibility, maybe say 150 million people are eligible or 200 million people are eligible. But if they lowered the income threshold down to say $40,000 or 50 grand as an individual and maybe like 80 or 90 or $100,000 as a married couple, now they could take that same $200 billion and really distribute a significantly higher amount per person that would actually go out. So maybe rather than say $2,000, they could do like $3,000 or $3,500 per person because they've lowered the income eligibility, and then they really know that money is going out to the people that actually need it, to cover their necessities. Does that kind of make sense? And again, I've shown you different studies that have come out over the years talking about people that have a low MPC, medium MPC, and a high MPC. It's actually very, very interesting. MPC, by the way, stands for marginal propensity to consume. So anyway, high MPC means somebody low income spends money very quickly. That's exactly what they want. But that's a whole another discussion we can talk about in a different video if you want to. But I find that to be very, very fascinating. And multiple studies have been conducted about this since the stimulus checks that went out a few years ago, and they've continued to find that, wow, actually sending money out to the lowest income people is actually very, very effective. So anyway, I'm getting off on a little rant here. I don't want to get too sidetracked from all this, but it's actually very fascinating to look at this. And again, just another little idea how they could take the money that be allocated for this $1,400 makeup or catch-up payment to the beneficiaries and basically take that money and distribute the same dollar amount to a fewer number of people, but yet increase the amount that would go out to the people. Does that make sense? Right? So anyway, if you're just jumping on right here, right now, I just want to do a little quick recap for you really fast here, which is this. A few days ago, I came out in a short video in the evening. I think it was, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 days ago. Yeah, it's probably 4 days ago now, realistically. And in that short video, it was just a clip that I pulled out of a long form video from, I don't know, 2 months ago, something like that. I'm not sure when the video was posted. But anyway, basically I've had some questions coming in on that, asking like who, when are we going to get it, all these details like that. But anyway, what that is, it's a proposal, an idea, a concept that was released by the Senior Citizens League maybe like 3-ish months ago, give or take a little bit. I'm not sure exactly when. It was about 3 months ago. And basically they suggested, because of the lackluster COLAs that have been introduced and basically applied over the last several years because of high prices, high inflation, the increase in cost of living, and the COLAs that obviously don't keep up whatsoever with actual price increases, they just suggested, why don't we just also issue a $1,400 makeup or catch-up payment for all beneficiaries just one time that comes in alongside the 2.8% COLA, which obviously we all know we're getting for 2026. I like it. Really good proposal, and that's what that's all about, okay? Anyway, in that short that I posted the other day, I also did link the long form video that goes from, or that I pulled it out of. I linked it there in that short. So I don't know if some of you went over and watched the video or not, but really good stuff. And that's what that's all about. Okay. So obviously I'll continue to watch everything very, very closely. There's many, many, many options on the table right now as far as what they could do for everybody across the board. We've heard about the $2,000 stimulus. Obviously that's very widespread at this point. The president has talked about it. All kinds of people within the administration have talked about it extensively over the last, little over 2 weeks now since the president introduced that. That has been out. We hear about the $200 emergency raise to benefits. That's been introduced multiple times this year. Most recently, just a couple weeks ago, they talked about that again. The $1,400 makeup or catch-up payment has been coming out talking about that. They introduced a new nationwide guaranteed basic income program just like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or so, 2-3 weeks ago or so, where it would pay for the amount of a 2-bedroom home in your respective area. There's just been a lot of these that are coming out right now. I think they're finally recognizing the cost of living that has been, coming up over the last several years is just unsustainable. I think they're maybe finally, believe it or not, they may actually, figure this out here at some point. I don't know. It might take them a little bit longer here, but they may actually be figuring this out to some extent. So anyway, I'm going to continue to keep you updated on this. If you want, feel free to watch the long form video that I had off of that short from a few days ago. Check that out. Otherwise, I basically just described it here as well. And I may have popped an article up in that video. I'm not sure. It was from maybe like 2 months ago or so, give or take a little bit. I'm not sure exactly when it was, but that's what that's all about. Okay. So anyway, for those of you that are asking, wondering what's going on here, again, still a busy time, a lot of big things happening right now. I will certainly continue to keep you updated, and I hope this helps you better understand that. Obviously, with all of these proposals out there, I will keep an eye on all of them and keep you updated as any other information comes across the wire right now. Anything that comes across that you can possibly grab and or take advantage of with money, benefits, increases to benefits, stimulus, any other payments like that, obviously, I will continue to keep you updated as all that information comes across. All right, anyway. As always, drop your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. If you're new here, if you have not done so, please consider subscribing, 100% free. Big subscribe button right down below. Hope this helps. Otherwise, drop your comments down below. Let me know what else I can do for you. I know it's a very confusing time. I know a lot of things are happening. That's just the nature of the beast right now, right? Anyway, thanks again for watching this. Really appreciate all of you. Please have a nice afternoon or evening wherever you're located in the country. It's different depending on where you're located. Otherwise, again, if you're new, please consider subscribing. Otherwise, stay tuned. I'll keep you posted with everything going on. I guarantee you we're going to see more things coming out. It's just been a very busy time the last several weeks here. All right, anyway, please enjoy, and I'll catch you again later. If you're still watching right now, you may want to click off. I'm going to unplug the microphone. When I do that, my phone starts talking, and it's kind of loud and annoying. Just always like to give that little warning. All right, anyway, hope this helps you. Again, subscribe, share the video, stay tuned, and I will catch you again later in the next one. All right, again, quick side note, by the way. I always like to show this, or not always, I like to show this sometimes. For those of you that are on Medicare, you know what I'm about to say. Medicare Annual Enrollment is ending in like 12 days? Yeah, 12 days. Medicare Annual Enrollment is ending. If you have not called Chapter, again, the phone number is usually on the screen. It's not there now. But if you have not called Chapter, call tomorrow morning. It's probably going to be slower tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm just saying. But anyway, this sheet right here, it's a document that I've compiled of all the people that have left comments down below over the last maybe 5 or so weeks, give or take a little bit. But this list, it's two pages long here. This list of people have collectively saved about $100,000 after calling Chapter, which is absolutely amazing. Hundreds of dollars per month, thousands of dollars for the entire year, which is really cool. You can see page 1 here and page 2. These people collectively have saved about $100,000. Absolutely amazing. It's really cool. Anyway, by the way, this is kind of an older one. This is from like 2 weeks ago. I need to update it. There's a few more names. Actually, there's probably 8 or 10 more comments that I've seen down below. People sharing how much they've saved just over the last maybe 2 weeks or so, give or take a little bit, which is awesome. So maybe we're at maybe like $130,000 now at this point, which is awesome, right? That's incredible. It's a lot of money to be saving. So anyway, phone number will be down below in the top of the chat. If you've not called Chapter, again, feel free to call them. If you don't want to, I don't really care. I'm trying to help you out. By the way, a lot of these plans are changing. A lot of the plans are being dissolved, discontinued. They're eliminated for the new year. I'm trying to help you out because if you're on one of these plans that's being discontinued, you will automatically be put into a different plan. Do you think they're going to find you the best plan when they just automatically put you into another one? Highly, highly, highly doubt it. They're just going to basically put you in a plan and that's it. Is it still going to allow you to see your doctor? I don't know. Is it still going to cover you properly? I don't know. That's why calling Chapter will help you to make sure that you're properly covered. By the way, their phones have been massively backed up lately. Call them early in the morning. That's the best time to get in touch with them. Otherwise, honestly, on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays are a great time to call them. Put that on your list for this coming Saturday or Sunday. Call times are significantly lower on Saturday and Sunday. Quick little pro tip, Sunday, by far the best day to call them. By far the best day to call them. On Sunday, there's like no wait time. That's just between us, okay? Anyway, telling you that so you can get in front of the line. Put that on your list. If you have not done so, call them early tomorrow. Otherwise, call Saturday or Sunday, and you should be able to talk to somebody. Be done with your 2026 Medicare planning in a matter of minutes. Anyway, windows closing on that in about 12-ish days. Actually, yeah, about 12 days. Anyway, hope that helps you. Again, just trying to help you avoid a major, major disaster next year if your plan goes away or you're not properly covered. All right, anyway, please have a nice day. Subscribe if you're new. Otherwise, enjoy, and I'll catch you again later. All right, here we go. All right, thanks. I always do this. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Cancel. All right, see you later. Thanks again for watching this.